Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Minnesota Mike back with you for another video. This is another one in the Memphis Songwriters Association blog that I do, and just started up pretty recently with this. So this is a blog that is going to be on the website, and this one is actually already up as we speak. But this particular song that I'm focusing on this week is part of the vlog, I suppose, not the blog, but the vlog. And it's going to be focused on For Whom the Bell Tolls by the Bee Gees. And just to back up, to give you a little bit of a reminder, if this is the first time that you've seen this video, the focus of this particular vlog is that you don't have to write a hit to write a hit. And my definition of a hit is one that didn't get higher than 31 on the charts, and we'll actually talk about that. And by charts, I mean the Billboard 200. But we'll talk about that one next week, and that's Tangled Up in Blue, which is by Bob Dylan. But for today, we're going to chat about For Whom the Bell Tolls by the Bee Gees. Now, for those of you who are into kind of the heavier stuff, you might think of Metallica when you think of For Whom the Bell Tolls. And you certainly probably don't think of the Bee Gees releasing music in the year 1993. But they actually did, and they released an album called Sizes and Everything. And the irony of that, of course, is that the chorus to this particular song, For Whom the Bell Tolls, is just absolutely massive. And I didn't call specific attention to that in the blog, so that's why it's good that you're talking about the vlog here and reading that blog, but then also watching my vlog here on YouTube. So this song melodically, it's a very gentle melody, and it's almost dreamy, which is very interesting because when I got into the Bee Gees, I won a bet with my aunt over the Super Bowl, and the thing was, okay, we'll buy each other a CD if our respective teams win. So I ended up winning that bet, and the big thing there was, I said, okay, yeah, so, how about the Ultimate Bee Gees? Because I was getting into them. And so I got that, and this was on disc too. I had never heard this song before. But it's just absolutely an incredible song, one of my favorites, and something that I noticed in there was that the 90s, even though it was released in the 90s, a lot of their 90s stuff kind of echoed the same production values in the 80s with these like big booming drums and, but gentle, verses and stuff. Think about In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins, which kind of kicked off the 80s and making that sound, right? But the dreaminess kind of comes in around 7 seconds within the song, and it's just you kind of know what you're in for. This really, really sad song. And lyrically, this particular song is very, very poetic, especially in the verses. And when the verses come in, there are a lot of interesting things. So there's something in kind of the pre-chorus that says, all the tears in the turbulent years when I couldn't reach out to no one. Now, tears and years don't really blow anybody away in terms of rhyming. It's not like a fake rhyme or whatever. It's a pretty straight up one, but just the way that it's said, it's a very, very powerful line. And so then after that particular uh, kind of pre-chorus, they dive into the chorus, and the chorus says, "When a lonely heart breaks, it's the one that forsakes. It's the dream that we stole. Am I missing you more than the fire that will roar? There's a hole in my soul. For you, it's goodbye. For me, it's to cry. For whom the bell tolls." And it's just incredibly powerful. And I first discovered the Bee Gees around 2010, 2011, somewhere 2011, I guess it would have been. Really started diving into their stuff. And I guess it was a little bit before that because I recorded a cover of Staying Alive for my first album. And that was kind of like a novelty until I realized how intricate that song is, all that goes into it. And so then I dove into their other discography and all of that, and it was just absolutely stunning. What great songwriters they were. But I bring up that time frame because I got rejected for my junior prom, and For Whom the Bell Tolls quickly became my go-to, just cry your eyes out song. Thinking about whomever, but first it was the person who rejected me for junior prom. Um, so it's definitely one of those songs. And so when you're listening to this, the song might come off as a little bit simple, right? It's this verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse pattern. But really what they do with it, that's what drives the song home. So it's very poetic in the verses. But they don't try to reinvent the wheel in terms of rhyme schemes. So like tears and years and things like that, you're not really blown away by it, but that's really what makes it work. So there are poetic lines that are still incredibly relatable. The verses are short. It gives you just enough information. And then actually I did say this, the chorus is just absolutely booming. Kind of makes you want to never fall in love again because it's not worth it if it ends, right? Kind of gives me that feeling. You might feel differently about that, but we've all kind of been there at some point or another. So the Bee Gees, the thing about it is that after disco was kind of dead, they were unofficially banned from radio after their association with the genre. So they made their living writing for other artists. Kenny Rogers, they wrote all of Eyes That See in the Dark in, I believe, 1983 it was, and that contained the hit Islands in the Stream. And so they really did make their living as songwriters in the 80s. But this particular song shows, okay, you can still make it. You can still write a good song that just means a ton to people. That you were able to do in the 60s and whatever. It sounds as good as anything they released in the 60s and early 70s as those ballads. But yeah, it's just absolutely incredible, the way that comes together, and it just tugs right at your heartstrings. I've used that hole in my soul line telling people like, okay, this is how powerful that song is, and they just immediately agree because it's just such a powerful line. The chorus comes in with 43 seconds for the first time. So that's a good spot to study that chorus. And a little bit of a shameless plug, but this song actually inspired a song of mine called The Night, which is what kicks off my album Cinco de Mayo. And there were actually 2 or 3 other songs on that particular album that were inspired by Bee Gees songs. And so they are awesome, awesome ones to study in terms of craft, but also in terms of actually meaning something with what they say in their songs. The Gibb brothers together were just incredible songwriters, and Unfortunately, Barry's the only one who's still with us, but they were just absolutely incredible. And so I hope you enjoyed this little breakdown of For Whom the Bell Tolls. When you listen to this song, you will probably have a breakdown of your own because it is very, very sad. But it's just an absolutely incredible song. So I appreciate you guys listening. Make sure that you check out the Bee Gees song For Whom the Bell Tolls. I hope that it helps out your writing, and make sure to check out all the other videos that I've posted in this vlog. There's only one other one so far, but there are going to be a ton more to come. So make sure that you're watching that. And just as a reminder, this whole thing is based around you don't have to write a hit to write a hit. Write what's in your heart. And if it's something like this, the right people are going to get to it. And that's all that counts, really. So happy writing. Even if you write a sad song, happy writing. You're doing a great job. I'm Minnesota Mike with the Memphis Songwriters Association. Thank you so much.